Thanks for staying with us. The Nigerian Customs Service has continued to wage war against smugglers operating along the nation's borderline. Also on customs support, Nigerian Customs Service also speaks on the way forward with importers who want to use VIN to clear their consignment at the port. Plus, more report. I am Igiseme Idine. Stay tuned.
And then I start with item 2 there, which is the review of the 2021 approved budget performance. Revenue performance of 2021 budget. The approved revenue target for the year 2021 stood at 1.679 trillion. The service collected a total revenue of 1.716 trillion for the period of January to December 2021. When compared to the approved revenue target of the same period, January to December 2020, the service surpassed its target by 504.34 billion, or 41.63%. The service also collected the sum of 525.06 billion as value-added tax on imports from January to December 2021, thereby bringing the total collection for the year 2021 to 2.241 trillion for the period under review. Page 3. Most importantly, the above remarkable performance was recorded amidst the following militating factors. As usual, as always, we continue to state this because they are part of the militating factors against what we believe would enhance the collection of revenue and maximizing our collection. First among them is the standing government, the deliberate trade and economic policies, monetary both and physical, such as the restriction of 43 items from accessing forex at official window. While we're not saying we're not against it, and I'm sure the wisdom behind this is good enough, but it is one of those things that has reduced the amount that we would have collected. 2, the non-functional scanners at the various customs scanning sites. This factor has adversely affected the service's ability to carry out effective examination for selective consignment, and the chairman made mention of this in his opening remarks. 3, only 2 commodities, cigarette and alcoholic beverages, were under excise control within the period under review. So we are yet to get the directive to start collecting the 10% on carbonated drink, and also we are yet to come to terms of who is going to collect the telecommunication excise. That is still under process, and it is our hope that before the end of the first quarter of this year, we will precisely get go ahead to start collecting, because every day that passes by, we are losing revenue.
The Deputy Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, in charge of excise, has been speaking on the free trade zone as approved by the Nigerian Customs Service. She speaks more on a number of issues.
We know, and everybody here should know, that the free trade zones are a different entity. They operate different laws other than the laws that guide Nigeria. We in custom know that very well. And that is why we make sure that all the stops, all the checks that happen to general goods on imports are not done in these free zones. Answer: if and when a free zone imports their raw materials, if they start documentation on time, you won't tell me that we don't have enough escort officers. It is only when you now come, I want this transfer to be tomorrow. There are other requests for goods going to other places. We have inland containers. Some are in Kano in the east, even in Enugu where I came from. We have. So there are always requests. So you have to make don't wait for your goods to arrive before you start making those requests. That is what we call timely documentation. Once you do that, you won't have any problems. Taken care of as soon as the automation is in place. Custom will only inspect the goods that they have doubts about. As soon as this automation is done, it is only when you won't see people every time they will call for examination. No, we are going to, and very soon, pass that era of physical examination, and then, all those stuffs is going to pass very soon, sir. And landing certificates, I agree with you that NEBSA is supposed to have a copy of the landing certificates. It's actually supposed to be, one should be for NEBSA.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Upper Customs Command have been speaking on the VIN violation as approved by government, while his counterpart in PTLM has this to say on the system.
It's a very fruitful discussion, and we thank God and we thank the CGC and the management team for making sure that the service is now going to be digitalized through the automation of VIN value and all other custom procedures. And that's not enough. We also carry our stakeholders along to ensure that we share our vision together. And the vision of today is to make sure that VIN valuation is being automated and deployed immediately after their acceptance. And good enough, the acceptance is very clear. They have seen it, and we also assure them it's a transition process which cannot be achieved only one day. So some of the things that we cannot be able to resolve has been forwarded, and they have agreed for the deployment, and it's a milestone that we have achieved today. Issues has been addressed because when it comes to deployment of an application, particularly an application like that, you must have a teething problem, and we need to carry people along so that we share views and understand the process. And that is what we achieved today. Before this, we have called them to Abuja, and at Abuja, we have discussed these issues extensively. We have demonstrated it through the passive server, and we have showed them a presentation. They have accepted the presentation, and still before deployment, the management said, no, let us come still and show them that this is actually what is going to be on board. And we have shown them what is going to be on board, and they accepted what is going to be on board, and definitely is going to be a win-win situation for both the stakeholders and the service, because human contact is now going to be removed. Simplification of the procedures as well as automation of the procedures is going to be informed.
The meeting was very interactive, and we had a good turnout of our stakeholders, and we shared ideas. They raised their challenges, they asked questions, a lot of their concerns were addressed, and I'm sure the feedback will be taken back to the management for other issues that will come up in the future. Now, when you introduce a system, there will always be challenges, but we cannot afford to remain in one place. We must make progress, like all other countries of the world. So the VIN valuation is a very good system. It brings predictability. It adds security value. We have the issue of stolen vehicles. That will eliminate that. Trade facilitation, so many. So it was a very good meeting. And I can assure you there will be further engagements in the near future. It's not a one-time.
Stability and a host of others. With this VIN valuation, there will be uniformity. There will be predictability. These are always emphasized. There will be certainty and convenience. Convenience in the sense that you don't need to queue before anybody, before you get your value. You can do that right from the comfort of your house. And these are the basic principles of taxation. That is what we have brought in. We've always been talking about trade facilitation. Trade facilitation simply means the application of modern techniques and technology into processes, and at the same time improve on the quality of controls in an harmonized manner. This is what we are doing. So on this note, I will only implore everybody that we should not see this, what we are going to, as a case of we and they. We should be on the same page. We should work together to make sure that this thing works in an environment that will promote trade. And with that, everybody will be beneficiaries. Because when we have a seamless process and the system works, even trade will improve and our stakeholders will have more customers.
The founder of NAGAF has said that VIN violation is in order. He said that the system will further increase the revenue of the nation.
The VIN valuation issue came up. I think there was a system problem, so to say. And when the issues were raised, then the customer went back and redefined it. And I think it's okay now.
You are comfortable with it?
From all signs, freight forwarders are comfortable. If there is further issues, then we can always raise that. And the important thing is the ability of customer to listen to constructive engagement. Why do you have to put 41 items under prohibition list? Technically, because when you remove 41 items from enjoying forex incentives, technically you have banned the goods. But what does the custom law say? I think I said something like that this morning, section 27, 28, 29, Bill of Sites, incomplete documentation. What do you do? That is custom examination. That is the destination inspection we are doing. All right? The problem I have with the customs, sometimes they are avoidably on a high horse. And some of us who had to stay with the customs, what can we do? And somebody like me would not want to join some of my colleagues outside the service to say one or two things. The most important thing is that we have access to them and we can always resolve issues. And you cannot separate custom from the entire society.
The Federal Operation Unit Zone A has arrested 14 suspects for smuggling contraband items into the country. The contraband items include PMS, tires, and foreign rice along the nation's borderline, including the creek. The unit also intercepted bales of used clothes, military boots, and expired used tires in Ogun State. He advised importers to support and key into federal government policy, which is built and aimed at supporting the growth of Nigerian local products.
The implication is fatal accident. You see, for government to ban the use of pneumatic tires that are used, I believe that anyone who can afford to buy a car, buying a brand new tire shouldn't be a problem. Because the money used in procuring a car is more than the money they will use in buying 4 tires.
Did that, we have been doing it and we keep doing it. You see, talking to them, you cannot win their hearts at once. Like we keep saying, some of them are recalcitrant. They are used to doing it. Some may decide, because of loss at a point, stop. But eventually they will move in again, using different tactics. And all the tactics that have been employed, we always nip them. We'll continue to solicit the support from community leaders, because we keep asking them to rein in their youths to stop smuggling, most especially now that the borders are open.
He also disclosed that the customs remain on high alert along the ports and border corridors to ensure that the national economy is protected from the activities of unrepentant importers and traders.
We intercepted a 1 by 40-foot container having new tires inside. Yes, we are still with the area where the tires were evacuated is still under seal. We are waiting to get the person. He cannot escape. Our investigators, I'm sure they will get to Ministry of Lands in Abeokuta, but we are still investigating. But the consignments are here, and like you said, the quantity is much. It's about 8,500 or so. High desire by majority of Nigerians to consume foreign parboiled rice has a nexus with the number of smugglers scrambling to import the product in large quantities. Citizens are once again reminded of the need to support and key into the federal government's policy aimed at supporting the growth of its local products.
The custom boss says that unit also collected 64 million naira found to have been underpayment to Federation account. He urged importers and agents to comply with government directives on customs goods. Importers and agents have been warned against smuggling of contraband items into Nigeria through the unapproved route. The customs area controller in charge of Niger and Kogi Command said that anyone caught will face the law. He speaks on the seizures made by his command.
The Niger Kogi Command is one of the largest, or the largest hinterland command of Nigeria Customs Service, with its main function of anti-smuggling and trade facilitation, and also carrying out the directives of the federal government as regards fiscal policies. When I took over the mantle of leadership 3 months ago, the federal government's directive of border closure is still in place. And luckily for us, the Controller General of Customs gave us 13 new hillocks, brand new hillocks, with 2 gun trucks. With this on ground, we reorganized the operations of the command by creating additional roving teams. The command became unbearable for smugglers and those who venture into smuggling, and non-compliant traders have stories to tell when it comes to that. The outcome of this is these seizures we are showcasing today.
He stated further that customs will continue to monitor the border and arrest offenders without delay. He speaks on a number of issues.
Graciously approved the postings of clearance audit and valuation officers to this command. And within 1 month of their operations, we were able to recover total sums of 74,919,135 only. You cannot have that. You cannot have this kind of support from the Controller General and his management and my officers and not be able to perform. It is in justification of this aforementioned that I share with you today the record of our activities in anti-smuggling operations and revenue recovery in this command. In the area of anti-smuggling activities, during the period under review, the command has been able to record seizures and detention of exotic vehicles totaling 101 units of different makes, some of which are displayed here within the office premises. And with them, we have 8 suspects arrested and are being prosecuted in the court of law. Other seizures recorded at various places within the area of operation in various quantities during the period are also in display. You can see them here, which includes rice, carpets, spaghetti, couscous, assorted water, and drinks. The cumulative value of these seizures is estimated to be around 755,337,866 kobo. We also recovered revenue that should have been lost to the total sum of 74,919,135,000 during the period. To achieve this feat, ladies and gentlemen, we deployed massive intelligence and applied the rules of engagement in our operations. Thus, no casualty is recorded all through. In carrying out our mandate, we have been engaging youth in our border communities and enlightening them on the ills of smuggling and other related vices to the Nigerian economy. I have also directed the heads of all the outstations to establish a community relations committee where we'll be liaising with the local chiefs and youth in order to educate them and guide them on the means of doing legal business apart from smuggling. I want to make it clear to those living within Niger Kogi Command area of operations and its environs that the federal government's directive on border closure is still in force, particularly in Babana, the only border station we have in the command. Thus, there are no export or import activities through the border until further notice.
The Apapa Area Command said that the command is strengthening its synergy with NDLA and other government agencies in ensuring that importers of illicit drugs and their collaborators are stopped. While urging compliant traders to keep obeying the law, he explained that all antics being used to evade custom duty will always be uncovered in the course of examination.
Laden with 100 cartons of taparadol, that's another name for tramadol, of 30 capsules per carton of 120 mg. This is how it is. Totaling 3 million capsules.
The NDLA commandant of Apapa Port has this to say.
Let the message be loud and clear that for those who think they can take advantage, for those who think they can lie, even in the labeling, if you see this label, you see it is not labeled tramadol. Instead, it is written tafradol. That this unity, we are speaking with one voice, fighting one cause, pursuing one purpose, that no matter the manipulations, there is the eagle eye of the law enforcement.
The seized drugs were discovered in a terminal in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State.
To people, please, there's so many ways of trading legally in Nigeria. Please and please desist from this kind of illicit trade. We are not relenting. We are here and we keep on apprehending, intercepting this kind of importation and continue chasing the culprit until we get them to book.
He said no stone will be left unturned until those involved in the importation of the drugs are brought to book. He said the seizure of the petroleum products were made within 2 days. Other items seized include packets of tramadol capsules and Baba Yellow syrup.
There are points where drugs are supposed to come into the country. Drugs are not allowed to come to any land borders. Seme is a no-go area. They know the little ones, they try us, they've been caught. And I believe you, I know none of them will succeed. And this command will not be used to be passing such drugs. As long as the officers we have now presently are motivated and they are always ready to do their job.
He also disclosed further that the customs will continue to seize items not approved by government. Receiving the drugs on behalf of NDLA, the unit commandant of NDLA, Semebona, said the drugs will be destroyed.
It's a very good thing, and most importantly, as rightly noted by the controller, it's an evidence of synergy, the working cooperation among agencies operating at the border.
The controller also warned importers against smuggling of petroleum products outside the country.
I want to thank the management of the Nigerian Customs Service for providing us with such tools for effective performance of our job. I would equally like to commend my officers that have been trying to do their best by ensuring that these people are discouraged from smuggling along these axes. with the cooperation and collaboration of the host community, other security agencies.
Said further that the smuggling is destroying the nation's economy. Kano and Jigawa Command of Nigerian Customs Service has arrested 4 suspects that specialize in smuggling donkey skin into the country. The controller said that the item will be handed over to the authority involved in the destruction of the seizure. The Kano and Jigawa Command of Nigerian Customs Service has arrested 4 suspects in connection with the smuggling of donkey skin into the country. The custom boss warned would-be importers to stay away from the command.
We sealed the warehouse of where we found it, and the investigation is ongoing. The duty-paid value is about 416,382,278.
He sounded a note of warning to smugglers to desist from the act of smuggling, or they will soon meet their Waterloo. He says smuggling of donkey skin is against the law, and anyone caught will be made to face the law.
We have arrested, and we will continue to arrest so long as they will not stop. We'll prosecute them in line with International Convention on Prohibition of International Trade on Fauna and Fauna.
He later handed over the donkey skin to Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service for total destruction. Just before round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you reports where goods worth billions of naira was accepted by some commands in the country. For me, Igeseme Edie, thanks for watching.